she's really good at applying pressure and sort of zoning. The issue, of course, and this is why I think Xin Zhao is actually one of the best, if not the best, alongside Nocturne. We talked about this before the game. Because or even Evelyn as well is quite good, but that's a bit different. You know, Nocturne's in more brawler, Evelyn more assassin. If you can get onto the Talia, she is not going to be very happy, to say the least. So I definitely think there's going to be an element of that. But if we just look at the lanes, right? In theory, it should be Cho'Gath getting priority top. Zed should, maybe after the first levels, because if Urgot pushes Zed in, which he can do, Xin Zhao will gank him. Because Xin Zhao red buff gank on mid, Cho'Gath, Urgot's either blown his flash or he's dead. So I think Zed will end up getting priority mid, not necessarily level 1, but inside of the first 5 to 6 levels. And level 6, I think, definitely has priority mid. Because not only that, but he can shove mid, not necessarily to kill Urgot, but to kill Talia when she ganks, right? So I think we're going to have priority top and mid, and then bot, I also think, is going to have priority for Truth Gaming. So even though Xin Zhao, yes, could just sit back and let Talia do things and counter gank, I think he actually doesn't need to. He can get up in her face, he can counter jungle her, he can find her while she's clearing, and he can just win the fights in that sense.
Yeah, so in that case, we basically have 3 winning lanes for Truth.
Oh, bit of a level 1.
Yeah. Oh, that was very well played. He was outside of jungle vision the entire time. This is definitely going to be a flash from Cho'Gath after the second cleaver, I imagine. Yep, he does flash it, but he's still dead. Talia just needs to flash, or she doesn't want to invest it, just wants to get rid of the Cho'Gath flash, and perhaps a counter, just a return top in the near future to punish Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good start by Visceria, kind of sloppy by the Cho'Gath. Essentially there, what the top laner will do is he'll go right, no one's helping me topside, mid isn't defending an invade topside. I'm just going to sit around blue buff by the wolves and just kind of chill, let them invade. If they do, then I ward it, whatever. Instead, he stands a little bit too far up. Like you say, they have user vision, but Talia coming in level 2 now.
Yep, and Talia's coming in. She's going to have W up, and that's it. The flip will confirm the kill because he has no flash. Mundo lands the cleaver, confirms the kill.
Yeah, I mean, fairly self-explanatory. 2 major... Oh, bit of a fight bottom.
Actually, what could have happened there? At top lane, we do have, like, the kills coming down bot, and Ezreal's gonna have to flash too. He flashes, but he's not on the other side of a wall. That wasn't a very safe flash at all, and it will lead to his death.
Yeah, Ezreal gonna go down there. So quite a lot has already happened in this game. Let's just go over it quite quickly, because I think there's gonna be a lot more chaos coming in. Talia looking now for wolves, but while we have a bit of a lull, let's discuss what's happened. So essentially, Cho'Gath messes up the level 1, the defense, blows his flash, Talia recognizes this, starts blue, ganks top, gets the kill. Meanwhile, bot lane 2v2, just a straight up win, because Xin Zhao obviously ganked, so it wasn't a 2v2 to be honest, but you know, we said there'd be priority there, we said Xin Zhao would want to do something level 2, recognizing his blue buff is gone, he makes a play bottom. And he also manages to get the blue from Talia. So Talia's actually not ahead of the Xin Zhao, because Xin Zhao's adapted really well, and also just because the bot lane was so much stronger for him. So good play bot, bad play top essentially. And I think at this point the bot's going to be more telling. However, in the early game, if Talia can keep punishing this Cho'Gath, maybe unlock the lane, maybe set something up like a 3 or 4 man roam bottom with Talia ult level 6 looking a few minutes ahead, I think it could be significant. But the onus is now completely on Visceria. If they don't make a play, topside or mid, then I think Truth is going to get to that point where they're going to be very strong.
Yeah, and I would actually like to point out a big misplay from top at the after Cho'Gath died there. You have a Cho'Gath with no sums at level 1. Mundo and Talia still have their flashes, and Mundo hit the wave with his E. Now that was a pushing wave for Visceria, and it actually got pushed back into Cho'Gath rather than letting it push towards Visceria, and Talia still had a scuttle crab that she was doing as the bottom lane gank happened. And I mean, we do have more action with the the damage going down. But
yeah. So essentially, just discussing that quickly, the issue is, right, is if you actually look at the gold on Mundo, he only has 800 now. So before, when he did that, he would have only had maybe 300 or 400. And yes, in theory, they let the wave push towards him. Mundo recalls, TP's back. It's fine. He does that now. He has double Ruby Crystal. If he did it before, he'd probably have boots or you know, there wasn't really anything you could buy with 350. So I understand why they did it, and I think it was probably correct. But yes, definitely something to note. They made the choice to push it rather than have it just reset into them. So
Yeah.
interesting there, decision making.
The variation I'm thinking of though is that Talia does scuttle and then sees Xin gank bot, right? So Talia can just come in. Oh, and we do have the just normal combo from Zed. W's in, gets the Shadow Slash, gets the Shadow Shurikens, and the Ignites finishes off Urgot. Not even flash
we
burn.
said that we said that Zed would get the priority around level 5, which is exactly what happened. But it's interesting that he just solo killed the Urgot. Urgot didn't even flash, so I think Urgot just underestimated. Oh,
yeah, and here's Xin. He comes into a level 6 Zed, but the base stats are way too high. He wastes flash anyway. He's in the middle of a minion wave, but he flashes, still gets hit by the ultimate, and that'll be enough to secure his death. That linear flash really bad for Zed.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate 2v2 there. You understand the concept, right? You've solo killed you've solo killed the Urgot. You still have Zed ultimate, TP coming in from Urgot onto the wave, which was in a way a mistake. Zed not realizing he doesn't have mana he doesn't have energy for Q, so he can't actually execute the Urgot there with the ultimate. So very interesting 2v2 there. Unfortunate, bit of a fight now.
Yeah, I believe that Talia will go down. She used her flash in that gank there, and that's all that is necessary for Zed to stick onto her with the phase rush, just get the 3 talon strike, and finish off the kill on Talia.
Yep, and of course, we might have just missed it, but Swain going down there in the bottom lane 2v2. That's going to be unfortunate.
And again, Brand forced to waste his flash. So no flashes, no TP, but Swain will get his flash back soon. But Brand, a very immobile damage dealer without his flash, definitely could just get poked out by Ezreal and Karma, and perhaps All-In with their flashes coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what you want to see there, right? You have a winning bot lane, you get ahead early, and now it looks like they've lost 2v2, probably from like individual misplays, or potentially an outplay from Visceria. It's not what you want to see at all. And even though Talia did get shut down by Xin Zhao, because he doesn't have priority bot now, he's invading, he doesn't have help. So he might get collapsed on now by Urgot, but maybe Zed can come help him out.
And it looks like Ezreal's overstaying no mana, and yet he's still trying to greedily take the wave without getting it under his tower, so Swain's just punishing him there.
Yeah, he's just waiting for his teleport, because of course that's going to come up right now, so a little bit greedy, you have to say, but ultimately a bit of greed in this sort of competition is what you like to see, because that's when all the fun happens. So interesting play there. So Ezreal is going to TP back to his lane. Karma recalls. Now in the top lane, what we talked about earlier is we said Cho'Gath would get priority, Cho'Gath would win, but because of that early
speaking of, they're tower diving with the Mundo ultimate. Cho'Gath does have flash, and Talia does not have flash to follow, but the Urgot ultimate lands, suppressing and killing off Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I mean, we were just discussing it, literally saying, hey, Cho'Gath should have the priority, but that unfortunate early gank, and now he's got punished again. Zed going up there 1v3. I don't know if he's going to be able to actually do anything, just holding it.
Yeah, I think that they should try to commit to the towers. Oh, no, it's because Mundo's low HP that they don't want to commit. Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Well, it's not just that. They also, it's Mundo and Urgot, right, missing their ultimates, because they've obviously just used them on the Cho'Gath. So definitely a bit of a relaxed approach there, just to go, hey, you know what? Oh.
And there is the return gank from Xin Zhao, but he's just caught out, forced to use his ultimate and then blast plan away. Oh, he still hasn't used it. He's taking a lot of damage, but he does use it eventually, and he will get away just fine.
Okay, this is really, really bad for Truth at this point, because...
The control ward placement there.
I didn't. Which control ward?
The one in the bottom lane. They had a control ward in the top of the bush that didn't see the ward, and they put another one down.
Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, I just saw that with the shadows. Okay. But yeah, so essentially this is not what you want to see. Now, I still
that should be a dead Karma. Yep. Just, she takes the Swain E, and there's no minions to protect her, and that's what I was thinking in draft. We didn't quite get to it, but basically, if you get hit by any CC in this lane, I see no way that they don't just one-shot you.
He's got Ignite.
And Zed does use his Death Mark, and just chases with the Shadow Shuriken, finishes off with the Ignite and the Electrocute proc.
Yeah, so essentially we were literally just saying it before it happened, but this bot lane was meant to win. They have high base damages and they're still in it, and then Dives kills the Ezreal with the Zed roam, and also, of course, the Karma getting picked out. So really well done there by Truth, but they're still not out of the woods yet, because they have the early game comp and they're behind. They might be even on gold, but being even on gold with a comp like this is already kind of losing, because remember, they get to that 25-35 minute mark, 30-35 minute mark, you're going to be seeing a lot of issues because they don't have an AD carry. They have Xin Zhao, but that's not really, enough damage to supplement something like
and
an
it's
Ezreal.
not range damage either. He has to go all in.
Exactly. So they're definitely, they don't really have a hyper carry. They have Swain that scales well, but you wouldn't call Swain a hyper carry either. Maybe if it was a Vladimir, it's a bit different, but maybe a pick. Nope.
No, Karma does use the cube. Another one. Zin's getting really chunked here. Talia's coming around. Urgot ultimate lands. He will get suppressed. Not immune to it because of his own ultimate used a bit too late.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. Because ultimately, this Urgot has actually been doing really, really well. I think it's gone quite underrated. We've been talking about how Mundo and Talia have been working well together. We're talking about how Ezreal Karma, apart from that last play where obviously both died, had come back in the 2v2 and they're holding their own. They're keeping relatively even in gold. Only a 400 gold lead for the Swain. You expect it to be much larger than that. But the Urgot, he's been finishing off the kills, right? That kill top, he just ulted, got a kill. The kill mid, he 1v2'd the Zed Xin Zhao, got a kill. I got 2 kills, I believe.
And the kind of unexpected pick of Urgot, right? Aren't expecting the pick, they're not used to the tankiness, and so just the fact that they aren't used to the pick kind of betrays them and gets them into that 2v2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about this in Champs, like we said, the Urgot is really good into these sort of assassins like the Zed, like the potential Fizz.
But right now there's a gank going on. Zed looks like he will fall, but he flashes away to safety. Urgot still hasn't got that, has just used his flash actually, which means he doesn't have it to escape the Xin Zhao, slowly poking him down. And now with top lane, he lands a Seer, but the flash forward into the cleaver from Mundo, he won't advance anymore, but I think he could have tried to just walk into the Swain, get Karma to come up behind him, land some cleavers for a slow, perhaps get the second kill, but instead he backs off and takes the pick.
Yeah, I think you just have to respect the Swain there, right? Like, yes, Swain has no ult, but he's on Rod of Ages, he's sitting on an Amp Tome.
And right now Ezreal gets caught by the Rupture, but nothing comes of it. He's still okay. I believe that's Urgot teleporting him.
Urgot has praises. He ends up going down. Now the issue there, of course, he had 1,300 gold. He had the full Black Cleaver, but he hadn't spent that 1,300 gold. Now he has boots. Now he's a pink ward. He's in a much better situation. That same fight before, he basically outplayed the Zed, not quite being able to finish him off. Xin Zhao comes in, and that's unlucky, I guess, for the Urgot. But now he's completed his Ninja Tabbies. He's 4-2. He's level 10, which is the highest level in the game, I believe. Yes, it is. He's very, very strong. You need 2 people to shut him down, and they need to do it now. Because if they wait too long, this Urgot is just going to keep ramping, because even though he doesn't scale, he scales better than the Zed.
Yeah, and speaking of that, gold lead from before, right? I just want to mention it because we see all these picks going back and forth, and the gold lead is still remaining identical as Xin Zhao goes in. He goes hard on the Karma, but he still gets caught, but not able to instantly shred the Zed. He gets his full combo on the Talia and instantly deletes him, exactly what we were fearing in draft.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say unfortunate there by the Talia.
But Xin Zhao going in again. He's got Phase Rush and the third proc of 3 Talon Strike, which will be enough damage to take out the Ezreal, still only on his Mirror Mana.
Yeah, I think really well done there by Xin Zhao. A lot of Xin Zhao's we make plays like that, and you think that, oh, they're being silly, they're doing a Yasuo moment, right, where they just think they can 1v1 anyone. It's calculated. The passive there, the CC to reduce damage, it's just an insane 1v1. Of course, utilizing the fact he's higher level, he has completed Warrior versus Mana Immune, things like this, so... Oh.
Yeah, pretty sure he's just going to face this. Yep.
Oh, nice. 3 stacks. Let's have a look how many stacks Cho'Gath is on right now. Only on 3. I mean, that's pretty good, right? 14 minutes in, so can't complain, so he's just going to be chilling.
We were talking about the gold lead a second, but Talia gets caught again, and this is not what they want to say, but it looks like they'll get the Xin. They might be able to turn it. Talia flashes away, but Swain has his own flash, chases, and it looks like the Dragon will finish off Xin Zhao as Karma gets caught, it's rooted, and the teleport is finished for some reason, even though they don't have numbers advantage, and Mundo just isn't tanky enough to tank all that burst.
Yep, that's going to be the end of that fight. Dragon not going over to anyone, actually. I was going to say going over to Truth, but still up. They're probably not going to... I don't think they should go for this. They don't have Cho'Gath ult. Swain doesn't have any mana. I guess no one's really on the map to contest, but Ezreal's there, Urgot's nearby. This is risky.
Yeah. And we were talking about the burst lead, but we were talking about the gold lead burst. We were talking about the gold lead burst fire, and it's turned. It was 1k ago, and Zio, he walks into the dragon pit. He actually gets a kill, but it looks like he won't get traded back. They don't have the mana, and as you said, they walk to the dragon, they get it, but as a backlash, they just don't have the resources to kill Urgot, who actually managed to trade one.
And that sort of stuff is very common, especially in your solo queue games, right? Especially if you're around sort of platinum and below, is you'll do something like that.
And Karma's getting caught. The phase rush is going to come out and easily secure the 3 talent strike, finishing up Karma for the easy brand follow up with the Pillar of Fire.
But remember, Herald has been popped bottom, and this is... Oh no, they're just going to back off.
But no, it looks like Talia just used W, so 3 talent strike is going to go out. And it's going to be finished off. Ezreal just used his abilities. It could be, does he have ultimate? He doesn't have ultimate, but the passive is enough damage to finish off Ezreal.
Now, that might have looked relatively simple from the brand, but the way that he animation cancelled and timed those abilities to interact with each other was actually super high level as a brand player. I know it might look very, very simple, but that was actually very impressive mechanically from Zazie, so that was quite nice. Ezreal, of course, not having a lot... Oh, bit of a fight top.
Yep. And Deathmark goes onto Zio. He's not going to die from it though, he's going to take a large chunk. The Shurikens come through from the shadow, and Mundo's going to try and look for a trade back here. It looks like he's probably going to get it, because no one can stop that Mundo. The sadism is running, and it's just too much HP coming back. He's thinking about the Zed, but there's minion wave there, the cleavers can't come through.
Yeah, and this is what people refer to in low elo as broken and you can't play around him. And the reason is he can just run straight at you, he can 1v2, 1v3, and it feels like there's no way to shut him down. But I'll give you guys a bit of a secret. The way that you play around Mundo is you hard CC him when he ults, and you walk away. And that might sound overly simple and ridiculous, but literally you cannot fight a Mundo in a 1v2 or a 2v2.
And Talia face checks into a pin cord. They know the vision isn't there. In fact, Zed is caught looking at clearing a wave. He just used W, the cleaver comes through straight into his face, the masochism and the cleaver, just too much damage for a completely immobile Zed.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally what we were just talking about, is the thing with Mundo is he will just walk straight at you. It's kind of worse because I believe Mundo has red buff. Yeah, he does, so that's even worse, but the idea with Mundo is he will walk up to you, he will auto-attack you, he will Q you, and he will stick to you. And the only way to beat him is to basically...
and they're trying to go in on the Mundo. Mundo doesn't have ultimate ready. It looks like it's enough damage. Just because he hasn't got that ultimate, the really ahead Xin Zhao finished his Trinity Force and Executioners, even if he did have ultimate, to just completely shred him.
I mean, literally the words coming out of our mouths, as we just said, you play around the ultimate, you have to doggy pile, I was just about to say, you have to doggy pile him essentially and dive multiple people on, because he can't deal with this sort of, dive heavy, damage heavy situation, because he wants a long fight, he wants a 1v1 or a 1v2 chase. So that's how you do it. You wait for his ult to be on cooldown, you jump on him. He's not
right now, he's moving into the Xin Zhao. He hasn't got the ability to move away from this. Xin Zhao misses the W, but the double CC with the 3 talent strike and the rupture, about 2.5 seconds, I think, of CC. Just he can't do anything about it. He's got nothing. He hasn't got a QSS.
Had a very crazy early game, but I think we have to say that even though Gold, we have to say Truth Gaming is in control of this game. It's been very up and down, but right now they're in control. Now remember, they have the stronger early game. They should have won, and they kind of have, especially if they can now kill this Mundo, but we don't know.
Oh, it looks like Talia's gonna just face tank the brand and get caught again. The control you're talking about, they definitely have it, especially with the damage coming down on Mundo. It looks like 3 talent strikes coming out, and it's enough damage with the Morella Nomicon, with the Executioner's Call, and the Grievous Wounds, just too much for the Mundo to handle.
Oh yeah, of course, as Zed actually engages.
Yeah, and you talked about how control is in Truth Gaming's hands. It's been going back and forth. I was going to say that the gold lead wasn't there, that the towers wasn't there, and there was definitely a lead for Victoria, but it looks like they're just taking too many fights, getting picked out way too often, And the control is really important because death timers aren't even timing out before another pick happens. And they just need to reset, make sure they're not getting picked off, try to stabilize this game.
Yeah, and
But even as I say it, the feral screen comes out silencing, stopping the flash forward comes out, but Karma's just way too fast with the Mantra E for him to catch up and get that feast off.
Yeah,
looks like Zhao is going for it, and the phase rush does come out, but he's okay. Not even the True Shot Barrage should be enough to take him out at that HP.
It's interesting though, because we knew that Truth Gaming was very low from the ultimate. We knew Truth Gaming was in control, not necessarily because of their gold, but because of their champion scalings, their power spikes, their itemization, things like this. We knew, hey, they're ahead. And it's interesting to see how, yes, they were behind in gold when I said that, but now within a few moments, they're now ahead because they already had that lead on the board, right, on the map, not necessarily represented in the score. So that's another thing you guys should probably try and take into your solo queue games, is remember there's more than just KD in League of Legends.
And as we say that, it looks like KDs are going to get a little bit lower, but it looks like, yeah, he actually lives with the Zhonya's. Was it a stopwatch pick? No, he has completed Zhonya's second item. So for going that quicker power spike to go into the Zhonya's for the safety, he knows that he doesn't want Zed taking him out. It's happened way too many times this game. And so Zed goes in, doesn't respect the Zhonya's pickup, and gets punished.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but you almost have to call that a rookie Zed mistake. Obviously, you might be thinking, why didn't Zed just ult the Talia? Well, she has Zhonya's, and he must have realized that. But in that case, you shouldn't really be going to Talia at all. Oh, Dragon.
Karma did just waste stopwatch.
Oh, really? I didn't
accident.
see.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
So she's not going to have it if she gets dived on, which could be a very important factor for this upcoming Baron fight. It looks like they're trying to
bait it out. This would be a terrible Baron if they did it, but the bait I like. They have full control. Get the pick on the Ezreal. They need to kill the Ezreal.
And they've got a pick. The Never Move comes out and hits the Ezreal. Swain's going hard, but no one's coming with him. They're all going on the Mundo. Wrong targeting, not enough.
Zed's joined in.
Comms not coming out.
Zed's cleaning up the backline.
He's going to clean up them all. The Deathmark's going to come out, finish him off. He just needs to finish off the Karma if he can. But it looks like Xin Zhao's going to have the movement speed to pick it up, get back to Urgot. But in terms of
Mundo's coming back in.
His health, he hasn't got the health. But Karma, for some reason, returns, doesn't have Mantra up to try and give herself the extra HP to live through the immediate burst of Zed, and just gets taken out.
That exact same fight, if Zed doesn't get caught beforehand, would have been completely in Truth Gaming's favor. They did everything right. The issue was, when Swain went on to the Ezreal Talia, he couldn't finish them off. You know why? Because he didn't have Zed. And we saw Zed just pick up 3 very easy kills cleaning up at the end of the fight, which is what you do on Zed. But as I was saying before the fight even broke out, the reason Zed got picked was because he went on Talia, tried to kill her without ultimate, and then tried to also kill Ezreal. He's doing too much. He needs to realize Talia is not the issue. All you have to do is kill that Ezreal, dive onto that Ezreal, at least get him out of the fight, and then Talia will be easy for Xin Zhao or Swain or anyone else to deal with, because she is not the priority right now. She's 2-8. Ezreal's way more fed than she is. Ezreal's the one that's scaling up. Talia's falling off.
And talking about scaling up, Ezreal just finished his Mirror Mana. So he's hit his power spike. He's getting towards the point where he's starting to really wake up. And so it's starting to slip away from Truth Gaming, because we've got this Urgot. We said Urgot's going to scale up. He's going to be really hard to kill. He's going to be really annoying. He's at 2 items. He's completed a Hex Drinker. He's completed his Frozen Mallet and his Black Cleaver. He's tanky. It's going to be really hard to rip through that health bar. And Ezreal just firing from the backline with those Mystic shots is going to do a lot of damage.
And not even that, because as you know, we know Ezreal's passive works, right? The amount of attack speed he gets from just ulting a wave with 1 Q is he's actually a
but it looks like Ezreal's getting caught. He hasn't got a stopwatch or anything. Mantra E not coming out, but the electrocute and the death mark not enough to finish off Ezreal.
Yeah, Zed just missing one of his Qs there, unfortunately. He missed 2, but if he just hit one of them, it would have actually been enough. So a little bit unfortunate, but that's what Zed needs to do. He's now got Ezreal recalling. They can't take Baron now because Ezreal's not there. They're going to get some vision control, but actually a fight could be forced by Truth right now to get that vision control back and set up another Baron bait with Cho'Gath TP.
And speaking of Ezreal, I actually don't like the amp tone pickups that he's going for. I think just leaving it at a tier and looking for those defensive items, either a Bork or a GA, just something to keep him alive, especially with the stopwatch. But instead, Talia is going on him, and he's getting chunked a lot. He hasn't got the death mark, he did use it, and so he's just caught and taken out. And Swain himself has the ultimate, use the Nimbus Cloak and the movement speed to get away, that extra health helping him survive, disincentivizing any further attacks on him.
Yeah, well, the problem, of course, with, and it would be nice, right, to get some sort of defense. The issue, of course, is he's going the double tier build. Now, the problem with that is, yes, right now, if you had to choose between going double tier or going Bork to be as strong as possible, or going Zhonya's, I would actually say Zhonya's would be an okay pick on Ezreal, but that's up for debate. The main concept I'm trying to make is he's gone that double tier. You have to finish their ass now because
he's getting caught out by Brand right now. There's no Morales, just Executioners, Morellos, I should say, applying Graves runes. But they're on the Baron and no one's respecting it. They've gone bottom to try and take them out. But now Xin Zhao is going to have to go for a pretty desperate steal. But Baron isn't low enough. He can't get the smite out, and so it goes over to Visceria. And this is the death knell, right? Like, they had to get that first Baron and try and push for that victory, but instead Visceria, the scaling composition, the ones that want that Baron, the free time to scale up, has got it.
I mean, that is really unfortunate. I don't even think Truth realized until too late they were even doing it. I think they were focused on the Mundo, which is not what you want to do. I was assuming there would be some sort of a 4v4 at Baron, and I didn't even register, wait, they've sent 2 people bot to deal with a Mundo, right, that you're not trying to kill, you're trying to keep them away from the team fight to get Baron, and then, you know, obviously Mundo can't push against Baron. That's the concept, but instead they go to deal with him, and they lose Baron. That is a very simple 4-1 Baron split, executed okay by Visceria, nothing's fancy, but yeah, so Truth there, massive miscalculation, and this is not what you want to see. They get outscaled, they're behind, enemy team has Baron. Truth Gaming here, they need to somehow get a team fight off and get maybe an Elder Drake to get back into this game.
Or perhaps just a team fight that they miraculously get 5 picks and they can march, perhaps get an inhibitor, right? That's basically the only thing that they can do to try and get some pressure back, I think.
Yeah, no, you're completely right, but the issue, of course, is that's not even what Truth Gaming can do. That's the mistake that Visceria has to make, and that's the problem with this situation is they can't proactively make any plays. They have to wait for Visceria to accidentally group up, as they're doing right now, actually. So this is the moment for Truth Gaming to go top, but they're going bottom again.
Yeah, and they have Executioners. They might be able to force them. It's just going to be really hard. They definitely have all this CC coming through. It looks like it's going to go down with the Feast being popped. But now top lane looks like it's going to... No, Talia gets caught.
Oh,
That's going to be way too much damage. And it looks like they're going to defend the inhibitor tower. Zed leaps forward for the death mark. But he's not fast enough with the trigger. And instead Ezreal can just walk away, but instead Zero getting caught, and Swain is going to flash in, deal all the damage to Zero's 1 HP, the stopwatch saves him, buys some time, and Zed is going to go down, but there's the pickup from the 2 members coming from bottom lane, coming to top lane to finish off the fight.
I mean, that was complete and utter chaos. I think both teams played that really poorly, but also really well. Special shout out I want to make to that Brandon Swain. I feel like they single-handedly won that fight. In terms of the Darwin Award or the misplays, we saw the Zed kind of be a bit confused there. We weren't really sure what he was trying to do. He kind of walked in, got very, very low, and then just died. So that was kind of a bit awkward. But ultimately, really good fight there by the Brand.
Right now, they're trying to stabilize by getting Infernal Drake back, but he can't really 1v1 this Mundo, can he? But even if he can, it looks like he can. Talia is coming in. However, if Xin Zhao chooses to turn onto Talia, instead he's looking to move away, but he can't. He's going to have to jump onto Talia, but the TP coming through the Ezreal, finishing him off, needed to be quicker on that decision to go onto Talia, try and turn the fight. But it looks like Zed might look for something on Talia himself here. He's got the pink ward to make sure no one knows he's here. Yep, and it looks like the double
he missed.
And the pyro... It looks like Ezreal's definitely going down, and there's no way Talia's finishing this with the 3 kills going over to Truth Gaming.
That is huge. They need to 4-man group right now, run it down mid. They see Urgot top. They can see him on the minions. They know Khan was bot because she was just in that fight. They need to quickly get mid. They need inhibitor. If they don't take inhibitor now, it's going to be huge for Visceria as a win, because all Visceria have to do is not lose for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and it's an automatic win for them. So I want to see full mid. Now, Urgot needs to recall. He's trying to base race them, which you understand is fine, but the issue is 3 of his members are dead, and you have a Zed and a Swain. That means super explosive, and you see he's recalling now, but it's too late. They're gonna lose this inhib.
And Righteous Glory is blocked by Cho'Gath. He wants to force this really hard. Karma does use the flash, but it's not enough. They've already got another pick, and they're going to get this inhibitor tower before anything happens. Urgot burns his ultimate for nothing, and all they have to do is get this inhibitor tower, back off. They're way too low, but they're trying to force something again. It looks like it's going to be the counter ace for Visceria. He almost trades Ezreal back with the ultimate and the Q coming together, bursting him. Zero is going to teleport back to top lane, but he's all alone, and I think Xin Zhao can actually 1v1 him here. So Xin Zhao's going to try it. He misses the 2 spells, however.
He's 2 levels down.
Yeah, he's 2 levels down, but Xin Zhao, that really strong duelist, and remember, Zero doesn't have ultimate. Perhaps if Xin Zhao could have actually landed his spells, gone onto the Urgot, he could have tried it. Especially with backup from Zed coming up way before Visceria could support their mid laner.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I actually think the mistake has come earlier. I think they should have committed to that fight at mid, because Xin and Zed just left.
Oh, he gets the death mark on. I think it might be enough to just take him out, but no other damage other than the death mark means it will go wide. He flashes forward, but he's going to just get taken out here. He's got nothing else to save him. And now 2 inhibitors going to Visceria means a very high loss of pressure, but we've seen that happen before. We've seen that Swain, that Brand, can do a lot of damage, and they might be able to take it back from Visceria. If they can play as they have before, get those picks, get those really strong engages.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. You feel like Truth Gaming is it's slipping through their fingers. The Urgot is so big now. We said this would happen, right? It's not so much that Urgot scales. Obviously, you know, if you could pick an Urgot or a Cassiopeia, you take the Cass. But relative to the Zed, to the Xin Zhao, these champs that want to just dive onto you and make things happen, all Urgot has to do is keep them off the Ezreal. And we already saw Zed can't even assassinate Ezreal. Ezreal doesn't have Azonia's, but he has got a GA. It's going to be even harder to kill him, and Zed can't get onto him as is.
He's just completed a GA, and he's 2/3 of the way with his tier, and that's a Seraph's tier. That should only take a few more minutes to charge at most, and then he'll have an extra 1000 HP that Zed has to try and burn through, on top of the 100 armor and the GA on Ezreal.
Well, I don't think the issue is so much the stats on the Ezreal, because yes, it'll be harder for the Zed, but he definitely has enough damage in his kit with that Black Cleaver, with that Mortal Reminder to get through it. The issue more so is that now the time that it takes him to assassinate Ezreal in a team fight has extended, right?
Yeah.
So sure, the 1v1 hasn't changed, as you said. You know, the stats are increased, but it's more so in a team fight. Zed's already having trouble assassinating Ezreal. He's going to have to play really well. And you know the sad thing? Based on what we've already seen from this Zed, I almost don't think he's up to it, right? We want to believe that he can, but what he's shown us in these
what if he just flash forwards again?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen. He needs to just remain calm. He's playing that Zed, very explosive. He needs to remain calm. He needs to wait for his moment, and he needs to get that Ezreal down. If he gets that Ezreal down, the fight's completely different.
Yeah, but even that's not good enough anymore, because the JA's on him. So he needs to get the Ezreal down, and then they need to back off, and then get Ezreal again.
Well, it's not so much... fight. Let's go.
Yep, and Talia gets advanced on with the 3 talent strike.
Nice.
Pyroclasm comes out and takes out Talia, which means they have an advantage. Mundo's in the bottom lane. That looks like Visceria is just going to back off, let this slide, and they're going to respond to Mundo in the bottom side. But Baron is up. So if they wanted to try and fish for vision, try and get that up before the Baron play.
Do the Baron.
Could they? They could try for it. Karma's recalled, and they do have Baron control, as we've said earlier. They have the Cho'Gath. They can just freely do it without fear of it being stolen, and they burn it a lot quicker than I was expecting.
Yeah, well, the issue is, and the thing you probably a lot of people might have missed, is the Brand actually does percentage health, of course, as well as the fact that he has the Morello and the Liandry's. But yeah, essentially, they burn that so quickly. Also, the Xin Zhao, do not forget, of course, that he does a lot of damage with Sheen. You have things like the Zed with Black Cleaver. The Cho'Gath's damage isn't really to be laughed at, and of course the ultimate. So
yeah, because Cho'Gath, as you said, is percent max health as well, and Cho'Gath is on a lot of feast stacks now. He's sitting on 7 feast stacks, which means that he's going to be dealing 3.5% max HP, I believe, or 4.5%.
Exactly, right. So they definitely can burn things. Now, very, very fortunate for Truth, and I think this is RNG. You want to say they planned it, but I think it's RNG. The fact that that dragon spawned 1 minute earlier, because if that's an Elder Drake, that could be really bad. But
I actually wish to raise the fact that Visceria chooses to take the Wind Drake, right? They don't want the Elder Dragon on the field. They just want to wait till like 6 items, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
they don't want
exactly.
the Elder Dragon being there so that Truth Gaming can take it and get that massive combat lead, especially since they have 3 dragons, right? Like, you just want the Elder stalled.
Yeah, but at the same time... Oh, bit of a fight.
Yep. And Talia does actually get hit by the Rupture and silenced. Cho'Gath's really tanky. He gets the flash on the W. Ezreal goes forward, has to use his stopwatch, and he has GA, but it's gonna be burnt here, I believe, with the Swain moving forward, getting the double never move, and then burning through Karma's health bar. Now, Zin's going forward, landing the slow. It's gonna be really hard for him to advance in this Urgot, but Talia actually choosing to stand by and try and turn on Xin, but that's not going to be effective at all with the Zhonya's being burnt to no avail. And meanwhile at bottom, Zed gets the solo kill on
one shot the Mundo. The Zed, like we were talking about, Zed has a lot of damage. Sure, he just one-shot a Mundo through ultimate with 3 items. That is ridiculous. That amount of damage on the Ezreal, who I might add, GA now down. This game is still up in the air. Truth Gaming should not have gotten this opportunity. I feel like Talia keeps getting caught out. I feel like the Ezreal keeps getting caught out.
Yeah, you remember he eat forward the Ezreal, and so he didn't have it.
I didn't see that, but yeah, that's terrible.
He ate forward into 3 members.
With Baron double inhib, because of course...
And bottom's pushing as well. They can just transition this into a bottom push.
They can go bottom and end the game right now.
Yeah, pretty much effectually, if not literally.
Oh, they actually have 2k on everyone, so maybe not. Maybe
they want to get this bottom tower for sure, but I think then they back off. I'm not sure how long their Baron has left.
I believe their Baron has about 30 to 40 seconds, so that's enough time. That's enough time to get bot in here. But you know what? If I'm Truth Gaming, I'm like, right, we're winning these 5v5s, right? Which was never the issue. The issue is that they get outscaled, you know, in split push and things like this. They win these 5v5s for now, at least, and Zed is somehow, I don't know how, misplay, he's somehow dealing with the Mundo. I mean, I would just wait for next Baron, but can you afford to do that? Because
I think until next Baron though, you can just siege bottom, right? There are 2 inhibitors down at top mid. You've got nothing better to do. You're basically the core members, like Xin Zhao is full build right now, and so is Swain. So the core members are full build. You're not getting stronger. Your siege isn't getting better. So is Zed. In fact, the majority of their players are just at their peak power, right? So just siege bottom, try and get that bottom inhib if you can. If you can't, it's unfortunate, but that's all you can really do with the current state of the map.
I mean, you know what the really like odd thing is about Viscera's comp is that Talia can actually opt to get rid of her 2 utility items in the Zhonyas and the Ryleys if it goes that late. I'm talking 50 minutes, right? This is obviously probably not going to happen, but the Talia Ezreal compared to, you know, the primary damage dealers, which is probably like the Brand and the Swain, I'd take Talia Ezreal every day of the week. So they're not getting there yet, right?
But would you take a Talia Ezreal that's getting caught out constantly?
No, I definitely wouldn't.
It's the question, and that's the main problem here. If we can just get Urgot or Mundo tanking the team, starting it, burning cooldowns before we get the follow-up from the main carries, then it'll be strong, right? But we're not getting that.
Yeah, I mean, this Cho'Gath is doing work, and I think Zed, even though he's very hit and miss, he's been more hit than miss in the past 5 minutes, right? We talked about how Zed has to step up. We maybe don't think he can do it. He's proven us wrong for the moment. He can still mess it up. He still has a chance to redeem his poor quality.
And that's just his champion, right? He's probably playing a champion. He doesn't one trick, and it's a very hard champion.
Yeah, very, very difficult. Solo queue kids at home, do not play this champion if you're below Diamond 5. But it looks like they're engaging onto the bottom inhibitor now. They have got a wave top. Xin Zhao's heading up there. They're now set up in a 3-1-1.
They've got the pressure, right? So they need to do it now if they want to go for it. But they could just wait for Baron or Elder. They've shown they're stronger in the team fights.
Yep, Zinzao can't kill that Mundo. He needs to just sit back, relax, and wait for his team to push bot. Bot is the focus. You do not want Nexus towers. Nexus towers don't matter. Whether it's an exposed Nexus or 2 Nexus towers. Oh, Zed!
We have Zed going in, and that's the Karma down. She doesn't have defensive items, she hasn't got the Zonyas, but Zed's GA is going to get popped.
That's the game.
And that's game, yeah, because Ezreal goes down in the midst of the chaos, and now they're just cleaning up with Mundo. King actually is probably going to die here. No, he won't, because the only remaining member is Mundo, who will just survive carrying in the back of his mountain. And that will be game, going to Truth Gaming, going from 3-2 to 4-2, and bring Visceria down to their level, meeting at 4th place.
Wow, what a game. Up and down, a roller coaster to say the least. I mean, looking at the two teams, we knew what the story of this game would be. It was going to be Truth. They have the strong lanes, they have that early game, they have that jungle matchup working in their favor. However, Visceria, they're on that ticking time bomb, right? They get to a certain point, they're gonna be fired up, they're gonna be ready. And you know the sad thing? Visceria got to that point and then threw it all away.